Hey, this is Shot Callers Esports presented by FanXT. I'm Colin Meenagh. This is Ryan Pallett. This is Huck, the owner and manager of Toronto Esports. How'd you guys get started? What kind of was the starting point of Toronto Esports?
So it started about 8 months ago. I had this idea based off of a past history in gaming, playing StarCraft, and being a fan of Huck.
Fair enough.
So I started as a fan.
He reached out to me.
Eventually I reached out to him and sort of told him that I think that we should get together and create a team that's regional. It's a bit different than what other teams have been doing. Something that we can build in Toronto and grow regionally, grow a local following. Getting face to face with our fans instead of having to connect, through the internet. And we think that having a Toronto team with Toronto fans will enable that to happen.
Yeah, and I think it was a good insight. That happened about a year ago, and now over the last year, we've seen, a lot of traditional sports owners kind of get into the space, and they want to rebrand these international teams to become city-based teams, whether it's the NBA or soccer teams in Europe. And then even like the Overwatch League, I'm sure you've seen that announcement, they want it to be city-based as well. So overall, I think we're on a good path to kind of meet in the middle, and I think that's kind of where our industry is headed.
So kind of what drew you into Toronto Esports? What kind of brought you in here?
For me, for the most part, I feel like Canada has always had a very large representation just in the space, as far as especially professional players. Canada as a whole has done really well. I mean, if you look at our population compared to like the US, I mean, they have way more people than us, right? But we always have really good players. I mean, for StarCraft, there's of course me, there's Scarlet, there's Massa, we have Arteezy in Dota, AUI in Dota as well. We have Wild Turtle for League of Legends, a few other groups. Like, it just seems like Canada is always represented very well, and Toronto specifically, even in this kind of GTA area. So it just kind of made sense to make that step. I think in general, cold winters kind of force people inside to play video games a little bit more. So we just want to grow, the local area.
And so why no StarCraft 2? You both seem, you're a StarCraft 2 player, you're a big fan, you played. Why no StarCraft?
It could be a bit of a sensitive question.
No. StarCraft, it's something, like I'm obviously a big StarCraft guy. He was originally a big StarCraft fan. That's how we got into this. I mean, being a fan and doing it from a business approach are two different things. I don't think anybody is gonna deny the fact that StarCraft has kind of seen its day, and the sunset's kind of sinking in now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna die. I think it has very stable numbers. I think if you pick up players or you run a tournament or anything, you know what you're gonna get, and those are good things. I think personally, from knowing the game very well, as far as a player base compared to a viewership base, they're one of the strongest scenes. They have very loyal fans and they do get good numbers. But from our point of view, this is something we want to have for the next 5-10 years. We want to really grow this into a very big organization. And that means kind of looking to the future. Does that mean we won't pick up a StarCraft player? Of course not. But right now we're kind of focusing our resources towards, our more immediate goals. And, a game that has, the space to grow and become something bigger, which is mainly Overwatch, which we're focusing on.
Yeah. And with the announcement of Overwatch League, where do you guys see yourselves, I guess, in the next couple of years with the growth of that? Well, 2017 is when it's announced to start. Where do you guys kind of see your future and your goals?
In the immediate future, we're really looking forward to getting a team house. I think the latest that will happen will be February, if that's correct.
February, yeah.
And we're going to have that based Toronto. I think that's a big step for any organization to get all the players into one house. I have a lot of experience being in team houses. I've went to North America. I've stayed in Korea for over 3 years. It's something I can help a lot with. And just in general, the team will do a lot better. Having them under one roof, being able to communicate, watch them first person, keep track of their diets, making sure they're living healthily, conflict resolution, whatever it may be. And then later in this year, obviously, with the announcement of the league, we would love to bid for the spot for Toronto. Realistically, that means becoming at least a top 8 team, I would say, and then also have the financial backing to do the bidding. So one step at a time, immediate future, 2 months, team house, hopefully by the end of the year, we're gonna be able to bid for that spot. If not, it's not the end of the world, but that's our goal right now.
So it seems like you guys are get a pretty set goals in Overwatch. What about League of Legends? I know you just acquired a team. What are your kind of goals with that?
Well, right now, our League of Legends team is just on the cusp of something great, and I mean, it's almost out of the blue, out of nowhere.
Yes.
After signing them, they registered for the NACS Open qualifiers. First round, they beat CC eSports. Next round, they're against CLG, who were the favorites for the tournament. Maybe we're not expected to do too much, beat them 2-1, and they've continued this run, this almost like Cinderella run all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting for us. If they win that, then they'll gain a spot into the NACS if they win their match on Wednesday at 7. And so we'll all be eagerly watching that. We're all really excited for that. We want to build on this. So we want to essentially keep these guys together because we think they all have a lot of potential. They're actually U of T students and they're studying for exams right now.
While playing.
Amazingly,
Wow.
while competing in this,
Yes.
which is like phenomenal. So right now they're studying. They'll play on Wednesday. After that, we'll talk about building around them and representing them. And they've been doing amazingly well. So that's going to help us transition. Obviously, build a League of Legends division on top of this. Maybe getting a team spot for them, team house for them as well.
Excellent.
But that's a bit more into the future, I think. Right now, it's
Especially since they're students.
yeah.